getting to talk with you here on location with Robocop in Dallas, beautiful downtown Dallas. Let's just get right into it. First of all, we hear the shots in the background.
Guns going off.
What is the storyline of Robocop?
The plot is about, it's set nebulously in the future, and it's about a good Joe, an average guy, a good policeman who is taken by the powers that be in corporate America, put in a lethal situation where he almost loses his life. He's taken away, he's transformed into a cyborg, a cyberneticized human being, a walking computer, a killing machine. And partway through the movie, through a series of events, he discovers that there's something inside of him, a soul, if you will, a humanity that he doesn't realize is a robot is there, but he has glimmers of it, and then he begins on this search to find out who he was. And it's an action-adventure yarn, and it's a thrilling tale of vengeance and good guys and bad guys, but at the core of it is the beautiful part of it, which is why I did it, and I think why Paul Verhoeven's doing it too. It's a story not unlike Beauty and the Beast. It's about a wonderful person trapped in the body of, or the accoutrements of, a beast. And it's about humanity trying to struggle through. It's about the goodness of people trying to transcend the evils of the computer, if you will. That's what it's about to me, anyway. And it's a gas. It's a little bit like The Wizard of Oz, too, you know? It's like, if I only had a heart.
When this role was offered to you, did you just right away say, oh, yeah?
I did right away. Now, when I heard the title, I went Robocop. Well, and then Paul Verhoeven's name was connected to it. And truth be told, about a year and a half ago, I wrote down on a list of objectives to do in the future 5 directors that I really wanted to work with. And he was number 3. I was truly just taken and stunned by his work. And so when I heard his name connected with it, I said, you know, shouldn't be fooled here by this title, although the title sounds action-like and so forth. There's something else to this, because if Paul Verhoeven is doing it, you can bet there's some story about humanity in it. And sure enough, I read it, and there was. And I walked right in and told him, look, I love your work, and I want to do this thing. And so after some politics, here we are.
You offered your services before they came to you?
I just went in and put my cards right on the table. I said, I didn't lay back and say, you know, maybe or maybe not, you know, De Laurentiis is calling, or, you know, whatever the hoopla, you know, that we all do as film actors and film stars do. But no, I just went right in and said, look, here's what I want to do. I want to do this movie, and I want to do it with you. He was a little sort of stunned by that, you know, but push came to shove, here we are doing this film.
And now that you're working with him, is it what you thought it would be?
It's way beyond what I thought it would be. It's completely different than what I thought it would be. Paul Verhoeven is, he is a driven and compelling megalomaniac, if you will, and I enjoy every minute being with him. He is the most on the set, inventive, and experimental and exciting guy I've ever made a movie with to date. And he's very demanding. And I'm in this suit, which you can't see due to the politics of Orion Studios, but it's a beautiful suit, and you will see it, and it's an incredible piece of art, if you will, to make work. But we make it work, and it's gorgeous, and it was designed by Rob Bottin, who's one of the finer special effects makeup artists in the world. And so Paul's demands on me and demands on the film, you know, were at first like, wait a minute, you know, let's take a break, you know, let's discuss this. But he wanted to go into 5th gear right away, and bless his heart, I just went into 5th gear with him. I said, I love this guy, so I'm going to trust anything he tells me to do, and I love it. I love being a putty in his hands, so to speak.
We, of course, will not have film clips on what the Robocop looks like until the movie comes out in July. But I'll save this part of it. Can you give me any sort of description of the suit and what it was like for you as an actor?
Yeah, well, I prepared for it for 5 months. The suit, the body cast, I started with those 5 months prior to the beginning of the film. I had to go to Los Angeles with Rob and have every piece of my body perfectly molded and sit like in tubs of whatever they make, those broken arm casts, plaster, without moving, for 40 minutes, just a hand. And then another 40 minutes, just an arm. And then one with the entire body, and then a knee and a foot. And so when this suit came out, what it is, it's a rubber undersuit of ribbing and very futuristic looking, almost black skin. And then it's this oversuit that looks like titanium, really. It looks like this very modern space-like metal. It's green and blue, and it's opalesque. And it has great sort of muscular structure to it, and yet it's mammoth. The head is very sleek. It's a little bit pointed in front. It has a 2-inch black visor. I mean, like a strip of sunglass through it. It comes down to under my nose. It has black under the chin. It's like I'm completely entombed in it. But the musculature of it is very Greco-Roman. It's very sleek. And the movement in it is very controlled and robotic and accentuated. And it also can be fast. And I have a gun that's bigger than a house. It takes 4 or 5 guys now. It's a gun it's like, I don't know where they got this gun, but I'm told there's only 3 of them in the world in civilian use. So we had to go through the Department of Firearms, Federal Department of Firearms, to get permission to use this thing. It's a pistol that fires automatically. It comes magically out of my leg. My leg just opens up and this gun comes out. It breathes fire like a dragon. And, it's fun being Robo. Robo is magical. This whole thing has been very unique and magical to me. It's been the most demanding, arduous, and yet satisfying and thrilling thing I've ever been involved with.
As far as comfort when you're in the suit, is it heavy? Is it hot? Is it scratchy? What is it like?
All of those.
All of the
It's
above.
all of those very things. It's heavy and it's hot and it's scratchy. If it was a day like it was 106 degrees, like it was this August, and we were shooting outside, I end up in the day with maybe 2.5 pounds of water weight that I've sweat off into the rubber suit. Just rubber from head to toe. And it's pliable, but it's rubber nonetheless. It's heavy. It's about 40 pounds. 40 pounds doesn't sound like much, but if you carry 40 pounds around all day and you are falling downstairs or having 45 people with Uzi machine guns shoot at you about this far away, throwing yourself over walls, it gets pretty heavy. And it's extraordinarily hot. However, I've almost become sort of like a recidivist with this suit. It's like a guy, I hate to make the analogy, but it's almost like a guy who can't wait to go back to prison because he can't make it on the outside. Well, I've become so accustomed to this suit, like I don't know who I am, without this suit. Somebody says, you want to go to dinner? And my social life is sort of really nebulous. It's nil in Dallas because I'm out of this suit for a second or for 2 hours and I want to carry these things around. It's like I have this skin that I've lost and it disturbs me. And I become very happy in this suit. And everyone cuts a very wide path for me, and I don't talk to anyone as Robo. I just sort of sit and think my Robo thoughts.
Does he talk or just make noises?
Robo.
Wonderful. Great, great guy.
Well, Ryan's very high on this thing now.
Very.
Yeah. Yeah, they really dig it.
It's going to be a big hit.
I think it will. From your mouth to God's ears, Howard. But, there was something I was just going to say about. Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's see, where were we now?
I wanted to add something here about Paul and myself. As we were working with this, and Jost Vacano, who is one of the world's greatest cinematographers who did Das Boot, all those running shots. And, we had this suit that's $1 million or something. And we have this idea, my characterization that I worked 5 months on, that they're not clear about. And then they have their vision of the film. And Jost has his vision of all these amazing shots. Well, at the beginning of this film, you see, due to some technical difficulties and some not mistakes, but some miscalculations in planning. We didn't get the suit at the right time to prepare the filming, to start the rehearsal, and all the departments were prepared. We hadn't all worked together at the same time. So here was this, conglomeration of 5 entities that didn't really know each other, and it was an experiment. I mean, nobody's made a film like this. Nobody's gotten inside $1 million suit that's, walked around like this, except my forerunner, as they say, my granddad, Gort, who was a character in The Day the Earth Stood Still, a wonderful film by Robert Wise. But that was just, a robot that came out and stood. But to play a man, the human. See, let me back up and tell you this. It's not like Bionic Man. It's not about like a computer inside of a guy who looks human. It's about a human trapped inside a computer. A functioning, walking, talking computer who's been lobotomized, amputized, and now it's just a machine. And then discovers a human being from within. You see the difference there. But the excitement was that Paul and Joost and myself and the various departments, we had to make this thing work and go where no man has feared to tread. I mean, there was no path here to follow. And that's what's been the thrill of it. We had to make and invent a lot of it up as we went along. And Paul is brilliant at inventing. And I couldn't think of a better guy to be with.
Now, Peter, today we're on location with you, and you were scheduled for a shoot sometime this afternoon, weren't you?
Yeah.
And yet, I guess things are running long or whatever.
The story of the movies.
Exactly, and I've been on lots of locations, and this is just the way it is. There's always a lot of time while you're waiting to go on. Now, for you as an actor, when you know, okay, I'm supposed to go shoot at 4 o'clock, but it's now 5:30, 6 o'clock, and you still haven't shot, what does that do for you as an actor? Because you're stage trained,
right?
And it's even more of an adjustment for you.
What I do is I play the trumpet. Lo and behold, I go back to the instrument that took me to North Texas State in the first place, which was trumpet, and why I played jazz. I go into Winnebago, I put in some tapes, and I play the trumpet. And I play and play and play. Or I pick up a guitar and play that. Or I write poetry. And those are the three things that get me by. I believe that it's very important what a film actor does when he has time. Some guys can just go do it. They say, we're ready for you, and you go get into your thing. I can't do that. I need time to prepare. I need time to put my head into this. Somebody comes and tells me you're going to have a 2-hour break. That's fine. I'll play the trumpet for a while, and then I put some time away to get my head back into this film. It's hard. So I'm not too, although I try to be and I like to be, because I love crew people and I love the crew of a movie set. I can't be too sociable, I can't sit around and jaw because my head gets farther and farther away from the movie. And then when they say it's time to go, I've been talking about football for the past 2 hours, and I don't feel any more like doing this movie than The Man in the Moon. I feel like I just woke up again, to go to work, and I go, oh gee. However, if I sit in the Winnebago and play the trumpet, my thoughts are my own, my feelings are my own, and somebody says we're ready to go, I'm ready to go.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
I wish we had heard you playing the trumpet. We could have taken some pictures of you playing the trumpet.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Can we do that? Or is it too late? Are you out of the trumpet playing now?
I think I'm out of the trumpet playing now.
Okay.
I played almost a day. I was thinking where the trumpet is, but I don't think it's anybody nearby. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, Peter, it's wonderful to see you again.
Let me tell you something, how wonderful you look. And it's not just television. I think you're ageless. I'm sitting here staring across from you. And I remember when I went to North Texas and I watched your show, and I said, you look exactly the same. You look fantastic.
If you had your eyes tested lately. But I accept the compliment.
Please do.
Thank you.
I mean
Peter.
it from the
It's
bottom of my
lovely
heart.
to see
You bet. Thank you, Bobby. Okay.
It might be. Ryan likes the blue jumpers. I don't know if you know if
I heard they do.
Sure.
So if they do a junket, then that's fine.
I'll definitely come through and we'll do it again.
In the event that you're all doing other pictures, and I have this that I'll say, is that surely, and you could
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, because I didn't know that much about it. But it really now, so I'm excited about it.
I think you know what? I want to jump ahead and say that I bet you really like this film. I bet you really like it.
Well, I always tried being in the video mind, but now I can see, and I know Rob's in it.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I came in, it was on a film here. Had the
Don't
whole
shoot.
thing
This is a special effects guy.
himself, and
What film was it?
I can't remember what it was, but he was like 20 years old, and he was doing all the special effects. And I looked at this guy, and
Yeah.
but he was ready because he had been doing this.
Right, since he was 14 or something like that.
He used to hang around with the special effects and just hang out.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, you know all this about him.
Oh yeah, I know about that. Oh yeah, I know that.
He'd be really flattered if you did.
Yeah. You run into him again and tell him that I remember this new man who's
I bet you it was that film with Ann Turkel.
It may have been.
About the fish people coming out of the sea. And,
If you said the title, I might know it.
what's the name of that movie that Rob did? His first big flick with Ann Turkel about the fish people, humanoids of the deep.
No, I don't think that was the one that I was talking
The
about.
Howling, maybe.
The Howling.
Yeah.
Was the Howling?
The Howling, yeah.
Yeah. It was the Howling.
That was really good, The Howling. Yeah.
Peter, what is the storyline of RoboCop?
Well, it's about three guys in the back of a It's about
That's good. Okay.
Mommy, ask that one again.
Okay. Peter, what is the storyline of RoboCop?
Well, it's about a policeman in old Detroit who's set in the future. Who turns
That's-
into a-
What is the storyline of RoboCop?
It's about a man who's a very good cop and turns into a celebrity.
Okay. Peter, was this a role that you wanted very much to do?
Yes, when I read it, I said immediately this is something I want to do.
Okay. Peter, is this a role you wanted very much to do?
Yes, it's something I read and wanted to do right away. Something I read.
Are you saying then that you sort of offered your services?
I did. I said right up front, yes, I want to do this. What do you need and want from me to do this?
Why did you want to work with this director?
I think his films are gifted and they're human.
Okay, okay. Why did you want to work with this director?
I'd seen all of his films and I thought they were very human and powerful.
Okay. Now that you're working with him, is it anything like you thought it would be?
It's much more outrageous than I ever dreamed of.
What is this suit like that you're wearing?
It's very sleek physically, yet inside it's heavy and a bit cumbersome.
What all did you have to go through when they were making the suit?
I had to sit for 8 hours a day for about 6 days while they made plastic casts of every single part of my body.
Okay. What is it like to wear this suit? Is it hot? Is it scratchy? Is it uncomfortable?
It's all of those things.
It wasn't, that's not what I said. It's hot and scratchy and
Heavy.
heavy. Okay, let me do that again. Okay. What is it like when you're wearing this suit? Is it hot? Is it heavy? Is it scratchy?
It's all of those things and many more.
How much does the suit weigh?
It weighs about 40 pounds.
Okay. As an actor in the suit, what sort of feelings do you have?
Initially I was claustrophobic, but now I'm used to it and I love it and I look forward to it.
Okay. All right, we'll just do some reactions now.
Okay, I'm rolling.
Okay. So you can talk anything.
Okay. What I was going to say is this woman runs up to me and says, oh, thank you, officer, thank you. I sort of stand there going, Madam, you had an emotional shock. I will now Neumeier rape crisis. She was running up to it as if I was a man, expecting tender loving care. And sort of like, you have problems, and we'll take care of them. Bad guys, they're just about to draw down on each other. 21 guys, and Robo walks in, beats down the door, walks in, looks around, says, 21 guys, come with me or there will be trouble. So which one of the 21 guys go, drop dead, and we start to shoot out, and it lasts for a good 4 minutes. So there are some real deadpan mono lines that Robo has. Robo never says more than 3 sentences. Or 4. Just absolutely what he needs to say, and does what he has to do. But he does have a good word for little children. He has a scene with many little children on a schoolyard. And the news services ask Robo if he has anything to pass on to these kids, any words of wisdom, any suggestions. And Robo says, stay out of trouble. That's Robo.
That ought to do it, Daryl. Okay, thanks. Oh, wait a minute. This afternoon, and now here it is, the day is almost gone, you still haven't shot. So what is it you do as an actor when you're just waiting around for hours?
I play the trumpet and the guitar, and I sit and read.
Do me a favor, ask that one again.
Okay.
Go.
Peter, what do you do when you're on call, you're waiting for hours, and you're still not working? What do you do to pass the time?
I play the trumpet and I play the guitar and I write poetry and actually do business on the phone. Find out how much my new apartment is costing renovations.
Okay, Daryl, that'll do it.
Todd?
That's not for me.